Hi YouTube. I'm excited to be back. It's been a few days. Struggling trying to figure out what should I talk about. I've been praying, asking God for some guidance, and the night before last, I had a very intense dream. But before I get into that, hello, duh. Welcome you to Beaming Light. Bold, enlightened, aware, mature, insightful, nurturing, grateful, loving, intelligent, generous, honest, and tactful. I'm Danita, and I hope that you find something relevant in this channel, some type of content that you can relate to. But yes, going back to my dream a couple of nights ago, I had this dream. It was a beautiful dream. It was about my sister, actually, and her beautiful family. And I had this dream that I was, presenting her with a floral arrangement. Um, so I had all the flowers picked out, and I was getting everything together to arrange the flowers in this beautiful vase and give it to her in front of her husband and her son. And it was weird because it was another person in the dream, but that person is not a part of our family, but they represented our family. And she asked me, she was like, "Don't you wish you had this?" And I said, "No." I was like, "Well, I'm not going to say I don't wish I didn't have it. I'm happy for her. And when it's my time, it's my time." So that leads me to the topic of today's discussion. Keeping up with and you see, I didn't fill it in, right? And there's a very important reason I didn't fill it in. Because it depends on the time frame or your generation that you were born in. So for the older generation, it could be keeping up with the Joneses, right? For the younger generation, it may be keeping up with the Kardashians. If you're a millennial like myself, you're somewhere in the middle with keeping up with the Joneses or the Kardashians. So yes, let's get into it. Keeping up with the blank. Who are you keeping up with? Who are you competing against in life? Give me a second. Because the answer should be yourself from yesterday. You shouldn't be competing with anyone in life except for yourself. You run your own race. You set your own standards. You follow God and His plan for you. Now, sometimes society will have us thinking of as like, we were supposed to get married by a certain age, have kids at a certain age, make this amount of money at a certain age. But in reality, life doesn't go like that. Life doesn't go along with society's social standards and rules. So that's not the norm for everyone. So in my dream, when this person who represented a part of my family said, "Don't you wish you had that?" my automatic response was, "It'll come to me when it's time, but I'm happy for her now." And I was making her a floral arrangement to give her her flowers, to show her that she's appreciated, that she's loved, that, I respect her as a human being and what she's doing. That's not easy to be a wife and a mom. It's not. I am not a wife or a mom, but I can imagine that it is a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. So do yourself a favor. Take the pressure off. Why do you have to be a wife right now? Why do you need to be a mom right now? Take the pressure off. God has a plan for you, and you don't need to keep up with anybody to obtain it at all. I promise you. It's something to be said about people who just march to the beat of their own drum, that do their own thing. And I like to say that I'm one of those people. I go against the grain a lot. I don't play by society rules. I play by mine. As long as I feel like it's in agreement with what God has set for my life, then I don't worry about it. Because there's another thing. Whatever God has promised you, He's going to give it to you. You can't control the outcome. You can't force it to happen. If God has promised you something, trust me, He's going to deliver on His promises. It may take a little while. It may take a long while. It may come tomorrow. Who knows? But in the meantime, compete with yourself from yesterday. How are you making strides to get better each and every day in your life? What are you doing to influence change in the world around you, your environment, your atmosphere? You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. So, keeping up with the blank, leave it blank. Don't keep up with anybody. Keep up with yourself. Allow God to fill this in for you. But instead of it saying keeping up with how about running the race with God? Keeping up with myself. Keeping a promise to myself. Keeping up with the promises of God. Oh, hi, Sebastian. So I challenge you to look at your life right now. Who are you keeping up with? Is it benefiting you? Are you stressed out trying to keep up with someone? Or do you feel like you're making headway? Do you feel like it's worth it to be in a competition? And what's even crazier is that some people are in competition with other people and the other person doesn't even realize that they're in competition with them. They don't care because people are focused on themselves, or which they should be. When you're trying to keep up with somebody else, the Kardashians, the Joneses, the Jenners, I don't know, you are losing yourself in the process. You're losing sight of what God has promised you. You're losing your creative gifts because you're so worried about keeping up with these material things that someone else has. You're losing precious time of your life that you can be spending cultivating meaningful connections and relationships and a deeper connection to God. Remember, we're on a higher frequency now. There's no more keeping up with. Keep up with yourself. Make that promise. And I promise you, once you make that promise, it's gonna sound a little corny, God will always keep his promises to you. It's a quick message, but I think it's a necessary one. You guys, sunny vibes, pay it forward with kindness. I'm giving you love, light, and positivity. Have a blessed day.